What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We haven't uploaded in a couple weeks. We've been out of town in Denver getting the Technova warehouse and taking care of some stuff over there, but we are back. Last time we ended at round 2 of Pro-Am and we got out because we sheared an axle. So this is the outcome overall. Axle straight up got sheared and actually kept driving it to cross the line. Boot busted and we got a bunch of dirty grease everywhere, so we got to clean that up. In the midst of getting out to another technicality, and fun fact, I drove round 2 and 3 of Pro-Am last year for US Drift Circuit and got out both times due to a technicality. And to that, I am officially sick and tired of getting out due to technicalities, so we are officially putting all of the eggs in the basket of our program and ensuring that we will not get out due to technicalities any further. So this is a quick sneak peek of some of the things that we have going on. We have a full Wisefab rear grip kit. We don't have it yet, but we do have the front kit coming in, but the knuckle. I did not get the knuckle because if you break the knuckle, you're done. So I did not get the knuckles for the front, but they're on their way. They have shipped. They should be here probably next week. And we also got a new axle, obviously, along with the spare axle, which I just found out by unpackaging them that this one was sent wrong. So I have to figure out if I ordered the wrong part or what's going on with that. And some new wheel bearings. We got these wheel bearings from SLR Speed, and that is actually what Andrew Grindle was running on this car when we bought it from him, and he ran them for 3 years with no issues. The one on the right took a crap, but the one on the driver's side was still fine. I accidentally actually ordered 2 sets. I thought it was 1 wheel bearing and I ordered 2, but it was a set, so I ordered 2 sets. So I have 3 spares, 1 as a true spare here in the garage. And actually, fun fact, what we are going to do is we are going to preset the rear Wisefab kit with all the right dimensions and everything, so that it can just be bolt in, bolt out with the left and right hand side, and the toe will be accurate and stuff like that. And I'm going to get spare knuckles like we have right here, which I will be installing the wheel bearing onto. That way, if it were to come that the knuckle cracks for some reason, like we have happened on the passenger side of the car, we'll be able to just swap the knuckle real quick. It'll be 3 bolts, boom, boom, have the wheel bearing ready to go, and we won't have to do anything because we will not be getting out due to a technicality again. I'm done. We even have a spare power steering rack. We have everything we need, not everything, but we have a lot of the stuff that is prone to failure, and we'll keep building the list as it goes on. A fun project that we actually have going on is that we have these, there's a few of us that run these custom Willwood for the Willwood calipers like we have there with the specialty disc. And I actually took the spares that I have and I reverse engineered them and 3D printed. So we're actually going to be test fitting my design today to see if it fits and it will bolt up. So that is kind of the post round 2 update of Pro-Am. Now let's get the car back on its 4 wheels and tires. Let's do some test fitting with the bracket. Let's swap out the axle, let's swap out the wheel bearing, and let's get everything going because I want to see this car down and I want to have it ready for a test day if we're going to be doing a test day sometime soon. So cue the montage of us taking this thing apart. Oh my goodness, already so dirty. We're gonna have to go clean that up. But for this clip, another piece of information I forgot to add is the fact that we have a spare set of coilovers for the car already. It was an R&D model that they came up with through BC Racing, where the top hat is a little bit different and it makes the car sit higher. So it's not ideal, but in terms of a spare set for when we go into a competition, we have to swap them out real quick, they will be good enough and they're already set at the right preload, the pre-adjustment, so we'll have to add that to the trailer. As you can see from the car, we believe the reason why the axle broke was because the wheel bearing was shot. Why we got the SLR Speed new ones. We'll just have to swap the studs over. You can't really tell here, but when it's mounted on the car, this wheel bearing is completely kaput. So we got the whole knuckle off. We're gonna be able to test out our bracket now, and we are going to be able to clean up this disaster. Look at what the sheared boot, I mean, it's my fault. I tried to cross the line and we pushed everything past its limits. But when you see my face and why I'm as dirty as I am, it is because of this and this madness. So now that that's off, we'll go clean ourselves up and we'll continue fixing everything up. All right, we got test number 1, trying to see if it fits the wheel bearing, and we are looking good to go, baby. So next up, we are going to test to see if these 2 holes line up with, there's a hole right here and right there, line up with this bracket here. And if that does, then we'll have to test the 2 calipers. Bada bing, bada boom. But test 1 of 3 for the fitment is good. Let's get on. We actually done goofed. The thread pitch for this is wrong. It's this thread pitch, not the bigger bolt. So I'll have to go get the thread pitch of this and this just to be sure it's accurate. But we are looking good to go. Just going to need to make this bigger, but it all lines up perfectly. Now to test the caliper, which I'm really hoping the caliper is gonna fit. And if it does, we are good to go. And we're actually not gonna test with the caliper. What we're gonna do is we are going to just, which I already did, but I'm gonna double check now again. I'm just gonna line up these 2 holes, 1, 2, and make sure they line up here. And these 2, boom, boom, make sure they line up here. And if they do, then by default, it'll just mean that we're good because it matches the caliper. So let's test that out right now. So right here, we are a little bit off. This hole and this hole will line up perfectly, and then this one will line up perfectly also, but this one's a little bit off-centered. But if you shift this and reline up with this one, then they're perfect. So caliper mounts here, caliper mounts here. So these 2 not being perfect to one another doesn't matter as long as this one are together and this one are together. So overall, we are in a great state, but until then, we're gonna put the car back together with the original parts and looking forward to getting some more parts made. In proper fashion, we have an issue. We're doing everything right. We're even cleaning out the bolts 1 by 1, making sure everything was gonna be stout and no issues. And I go to put on the bearing and I take these studs that were on the old one and they don't fit. So I don't know if I got the wrong bearing because it fits. The hub fits, everything fits, all seems good, but the bolts don't. So I might have to get new bolts. Luckily, that will not stop us from finishing the install. We can still put the rotors on, we can still put the calipers on, we can put everything on but those bolts. So the car will be, and reattach everything, so the car will be like 95% of the way there. Then I'll get those bolts, put them in, boom, put on the lug nuts, wheel, lug nut, and we'll be done. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. But I'm gonna look into this issue right now. And that is a wrap. Man, that kicked my ass. As you can see, we're filthy, but we got it all back together. We got it in. We just need to put in the studs, which I'll have to buy aftermarket because they don't fit, as opposed to the ones that I had previously. So can't put these in, so I'll have to buy new ones. I have an email out to Shane over there to figure out what size pitch I need, and then I'll get the proper ones. I was dumb because there's two sizes for these. There's these guys and these guys, and I busted the old one because it was like seized in there, so I hammered it out, and I knew I had a spare Wisefab kit, so I didn't mind breaking it. And I put in the little one on accident, not realizing there was two sizes, and I put the whole thing back together. It was a nightmare to get it all to fit. Finally got it to fit, finally got it to go, and like the knuckle was sitting on the arm, and I was like, that's not possible. So I checked the other side, noticed that it didn't do that. So I looked a little bit deeper, figured out that I was using the wrong one. That's take it all back apart to put it all back together. But it's done, it's fixed, it's good. We're Gucci. So we'll get those studs, we'll put them in, we'll slap it on. Last piece of business we kind of got to tackle with this car before the next round. Obviously no change every round. And the wing. So when Sam was helping me push the car in, we actually just put a tire between his truck and my car, and he pushed me into the garage. That's how I got it in, because I'm at an uphill slant in my driveway. And I guess at the last second I was turned this way, he was turned this way still, and he kind of rammed my bumper on accident. My fault. I mean, whatever, like things happen. Luckily no damage to his car, but my wing ripped out and ripped everything. The front right is pushed in from when I hit the wall. You can tell because this fender is literally about to bust, and it's like wider because of the compression and all that. So we got to figure out what do we want to do to bring this back in. So we'll sort that out, but that'll be for another day. For now we're good. Thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. Looking forward to round 3, hoping to have a test day. We're going to Vegas in July for round 3 of Flavor Express with the West Coast car. That car's down, just needs an oil change. We'll be going out there a couple days early to do some sightseeing around Vegas and work stuff and stuff like that. But until then, peace.